We should have been high for this. We should have been high for this.
I was high for this. It didn't help.
Previously on Real Garbage.
That's the rule. No. That's the parrot rule.
It's more of a guideline, but
According to maritime law, all those parrots belong to you.
it's just toady parrots. Fuck.
And now, coming up on this episode of Real Garbage.
Keanu doing Nicolas Cage, doing John Wick.
Oh,
They killed my dog. I'm gonna kill those. I took my car, and then they blew up my ex-wife's house.
I'm gonna take your face and put it on my face. We're gonna steal 60 cars in one night.
6 cars in one night.
One night boost.
steal 60 cars in one
That's not a stick shift.
It's almost like you're running out of breath when you're talking. It's intense.
It's just like Valley Girl.
It's a little California.
California.
We've got the movie Next starring Nicolas Cage this week on the show, so don't go anywhere because it's gonna be a good one. It all starts right now, but first, here's a quick word from Nicolas Cage and our fake sponsors.
Nukes are us. When you want to hold a city hostage or a nation hostage, we'll ship directly to your door. You like that? Look at the great waves of mass destruction. Looking for cash? Looking for gash? What is it going to be? Bring it on over. We'll ship you a nuke. Amazon Prime. Someone needs to sign. That's it.
Wow. A gash. Nice. Hello. My name's Nicolas Cage, and you're watching a very special episode of Real Garbage, or like the French like to say, garbage. Now, as you guys are probably aware, I have a pretty open-door policy with my agent. I like to see everything that comes across his desk. And when I saw that Jeffrey, can I call you Jeffrey?
Yes, that's it.
When I saw that Jeffrey wanted me to come up and do a special introduction to a discussion about my 2007 film Next, I couldn't resist. So I'm here with, I'm sorry, and your name was?
Darren.
It's really nice to meet you, Derek. The first thing that comes to mind when I think about my 2007 film Next is a wonderful conversation I had with the great American actor Jon Voight on the set of National Treasure. Derek, have you seen National Treasure?
I have not.
It's a wonderful film. I think you'd really like it. I'll get you a copy. I'll get you a copy. It's basically me and my on-screen father, Jon Voight. We get in a bit of a pickle, and we have to end up stealing the American Declaration of Independence. I'll get you a copy.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Do you have a digital video disc player at home?
I have a VHS.
I'll get you one. They're fantastic. I have several. Like I was saying, the thing I think about most when I think about the 2007 film Next is a wonderful conversation with Jon Voight on the set of National Treasure. We were discussing our illustrious careers, and he turns to me and he goes, Nick. He liked to call me Nick. Once we're done production on this, what's next? I turn to him and I go, John, I don't know.
That was great. Nick, what would be your Midnight Cowboy?
I don't know what that means.
I don't know how to follow that. This episode of Real Garbage is also brought to you by Now That's What I Call Parody Music, number 17, 80s edition, with hit songs like Totally Rippin' My Farts by Ronnie Tyler, Sweet Child of Somebody's by Puns and Roses, Another One Rides the Bus by King, Wake Me Up Before You Snort Blow by Bam, Hungry Like Your Mom like Giraffe Giraffe, Don't You Forget About Cheese by Simple Pie, and Cereal Girl by Madonna. Part of Columbia Shack's new promotional deal, 12 CDs for just 10 cents. Just provide valid credit card information and receive your first shipment of your favorite music right to your door. Use promo code RealFakeCommercial at checkout.
Hey folks, before we get started, do me a solid and just hit that subscribe button. It would really mean a lot to me, and I will love you forever.
Real Garbage. Ladies and gentlemen, realtors, welcome to Real Garbage, the #1 Nicolas Cage movie review podcast in Brentwood Bay on Vancouver Island. Thank you for joining us, gentlemen. How you doing?
Great.
Good, man.
I don't know if it's actually. You mentioned one of you guys said there was like 14 other Nicolas Cage movie review podcasts.
Yes, that's what I watching this, and I was like, doing my IMDb scroll, and I was like, that guy has put out so many movies. Like,
106.
Yeah, he's put out and like 89 of those in the last 3 years. And I was like, oh, Nicolas Cage movie podcast. It's got to happen. And I was like, wait a second. And Google it. And I was like, yeah, no, there's already like 14 Nicolas Cage match and Locked in a Cage and
Yeah.
Cage has gone wild.
I don't know what I would call my Nicolas Cage podcast.
I wrote in my notebook, Cage match. That was it. Podcast, Cage match, and then already too many Cage pods.
Turn the cage.
Yeah. Ooh, that's good. I like that too.
All we do just 106 episodes. That's it.
I think I should do one anyways. The thing is, like, Nicolas Cage's career peaked in about 84 and then just went steadily downhill.
I disagree.
You're wrong.
What year was Gone in 60 Seconds? Come on.
I don't know.
Come on.
That was after.
That was after 84.
Yeah, but that was the best. I mean, he is Wild at Heart is great. David Lynch.
Leaving Las Vegas.
Leaving
is
Las
great.
Vegas was good. And then the one Vampire's Kiss, Valley Girl.
Face Off. Come on.
That's
Yeah,
his.
Face Off
That's
was
his favorite one. Apparently, I saw when I was doing
I'm
my
gonna
research.
take your face and put it on my face. I'm Castor Troy. Sorry, I interrupted you.
That's good. He just has so many. Yeah, he just gets such a wealth of garbage out there. It's just and perfect for you should do the real garbage edition behind a paywall of Nicolas Cage trash movies, of which Gone in 60. Like I haven't seen a lot of them. You sort of look at the movie poster and you're like, ugh, I'll give it a miss.
Well, I think he has more home runs than not. I can't think of any other actor when you're like all those movies you mentioned, then The Rock and Face Off. Do you remember The Rock and then
The Rock
Con
was good,
Air?
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the lieutenant, the
Okay.
bad lieutenant, sorry. And then the fucking
Winners fuck the prom queen.
and then Weatherman. Did you see Weatherman?
Oh yeah. So he's got some. What about the one where is that the one where he turns into a snowman to spend Christmas with his kids?
I think you're thinking of Jack Frost with
That's Michael Keaton.
Michael
Okay.
Keaton.
Yeah.
They're so similar though.
Then I think there's like another Jack Frost, but it's a horror movie.
He did a family Christmas movie.
I think
Family
that's
Man.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Right on the button.
I just think when you're looking at 106 movies and you're like, he's made, and you're listing off movies, I'm like, you get to movie like 19, 20, and then I'm like,
You got to break a few eggs. That's all I got to say. A few eggs got to get broken.
Well, and those gambling debts have to get paid too.
That's right. Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, I swear he did every second movie in Vegas, but that's what I had heard.
You know why? Because he lives in Vegas. Did you know that?
No.
He lives in Vegas. He lives outside
really?
Vegas. Yeah. That's why.
Is he a big rock climber? No, he's a big gambler.
He's a big
That's why-
gambler.
That's right.
I think that's why this movie's mostly set in Vegas.
Gotta hit the tables.
Wasn't he in Leaving Las Vegas too? With Elizabeth
Oh
Shue?
yeah.
That was good. That was a
That's
good one.
great movie. So he does have when he hits it, when he nails it, it's so good. Like he is amazing when he does well. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe you got to break. Just keep throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks. You're like, what's this movie? You're a cage fighter in Thailand and someone kidnapped you. I'll do it.
Yeah. You know, some people go the whole life without throwing a single thing. Without a single pitch. Without picking up a single egg.
Without taking a single shot.
That's what I'm meaning.
You know. You gotta shoot your shot.
Better to have made a garbage movie than not have loved and lost. Made a garbage movie and not made a garbage.
Never made a movie
Yeah.
at all.
I agree.
Yeah,
entirely.
You should write that on a T-shirt.
that's right. I need a big T-shirt.
Triple XL. What does it say? You're gonna spin around for the rest. You guys want to start talking about next?
Yeah,
Yeah?
Bring it on.
So I wanted to do a Nicolas Cage movie. There's not a lot to choose from on Netflix. It's kind of weak, and I think Amazon Prime has even less. Because you got 106 titles, they give you like 5.
I wonder what is he? Does he only work with one studio? Do we know? Like, is it a Paramount thing? And then because they're all like throttling it because they're
The
starting
Nicolas
their own
Cage.
service.
Are they?
Or maybe they're doing their own Cage streaming service.
That's right. Just
all
Nicolas
Nicolas
Cage all
Cage
the time.
movies.
Exclusive interviews and
I would. You know what? I'd pay $4 a month for it.
yeah, and like posters and stuff you get. It's like
Swag.
it's like a
Sweet.
loot. It's like a loot crate.
So nice.
Monthly deliveries of Nicolas Cage T-shirts,
all it
Nicolas
is
Cage coasters,
Snakeskin jackets.
Nick
That's
Cage
it.
blankets.
Unlocking the cage and then it's like
I like that.
a crate.
You know what? You could probably pitch that to him. He would probably do it.
I like it. That's nice.
That's right.
We could put T-shirts in there. All right.
Yeah. Oh, I like loot crate. Yeah.
Lowrider, Donnie. Lowrider.
We could put all my DVDs in there.
Can you just do this the whole? Can you just
right,
get
welcome
into
to Real
character for the
Garbage.
whole interview, and then we'll just interview you as Nicolas Cage?
That's how I found. I was trying to find podcasts with him on it, so I could listen to him in the car, trying to work on that. And
Yeah.
all I just found was all these fucking Nicolas Cage podcasts. And I was like, "What am I doing?" I'm like, I'm like, tartar sauce.
Red
And I like
wine.
look over and there's somebody looking at me. I'm like, "Oh my god,
Stop looking at me. Look away.
what do you want?"
Take a picture. It'll last longer.
Because it's very good. Like, how do you do the Nicolas Cage?
I didn't realize I could do. I could only do National Treasure up until this morning, and then I just literally spent all day in front of a computer playing stuff back.
and just imitating it? Because I don't know if I could like.
It's actually a lot more Californian than you realize.
We're gonna steal 60 cars in one night.
6 cars in one night.
One night booze.
steal 60 cars in one
That's not a stick shift.
It's almost like you're running out of breath when you're talking.
It's intense.
It's just like Valley Girl.
It's a little California.
California.
I think what I found was that it's like he goes tartar sauce, but he doesn't say tartar sauce, but he doesn't say the part, but he gets the tension of that tartar sauce. Tartar sauce.
Can you
Tartar sauce.
can you do a TED talk on?
Mayonnaise. Condiments.
He's like just a little more intense. Keanu's like, "Whoa, I know kung fu. Whoa. He's just a little bit more intense than Keanu's like, "Oh, it ends tonight. Hey, Agent Smith, still California. I know, but he's more. Cage is more intense.
I need guns. Lots of guns.
Guns, lots of guns.
Gone in 60 seconds.
That's the only impression I could do was Keanu Reeves, like the 4 lines he has in movies, and then I was like, oh, it's actually pretty similar.
People
to
asking
Keanu
me-
Reeves. Yeah, but the Cage he's pretty close there.
People keep asking me if I'm back, and I'm starting to think, yeah, I think I'm back.
What is that?
John Wick, man.
Oh shit!
Oh, John, are you back?
Oh yeah. They killed my dog. This
Dude,
is my
can
dog.
you do Can you do Keanu? Do Nicolas Cage in
Keanu
John
doing-
Wick?
That would have been way better.
yeah.
John Wick was great, but it's a really
Hold on, Keanu doing Nicolas Cage, doing John Wick.
Oh,
they killed my dog. I'm gonna kill those. I took my car, and then they blew up my ex-wife's house. I'm gonna fuck. It's a little Jimmy Stewart too.
yeah.
Well,
Can you do Jimmy Stewart? Nick
know,
Cage doing Jimmy Stewart.
nose
Nicolas
is gonna
Cage
start
doing
bleeding.
Jimmy Stewart.
yeah. No, I can't do. I can't do Jimmy.
Harvey, that big white rabbit.
No, who's the CBC guy that did the stories? Dave.
Oh, yeah.
Dave didn't know what to do. I tried
gonna-
working on that for a while. What's that guy's name?
What's CBC guy?
He does the stories.
Yeah, the Christmas story.
He's
Dave.
died. Dave didn't know what to do.
Do you know who he is? Oh, so like he's a CBC icon of like just tells these like companion prairie stories about my wife was cooking a turkey.
Dave didn't know what to do.
I've probably heard him before. I just can't think of it.
What's that guy's name? He's a legend. He comes
Yeah.
on at Christmas. He's dead, but
My sister went and saw him. Like they went and
suicide by cop, obviously.
you'll never take me alive.
you pig bastards. Fuck you. I can't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, don't disgrace his memory. Come on.
Dave didn't know. Fuck you, pig.
All right, next.
Come on. How far are we in? We haven't even gotten to the movie yet.
15 minutes.
I used up the whole bucket of Cage impression. I thought I would drip that out a little bit throughout the whole podcast, but
Oh, it's gonna come back.
I have nothing left to say. I was gonna read over my notes and make jokes, and I was like, no, I just work on this impression.
Like, well, guys want to wrap it up? I'm good. For the people listening and watching, I'm going to try and nutshell this for them. This is a movie about Frank Cadillac, a.k.a. what was his name? Chris
Johnson?
Chris Johnson, a.k.a. Pete Frank Cadillac? Frank Cadillac. Mm-hmm. He can see into the future, but only 2 minutes. And the FBI is onto him, and they want to recruit him to help them find a nuke that has been taken by French people.
Can we talk really quickly? This is based on a Philip K. Dick
Yeah.
Based on a
novel.
book. Oh.
Or book. Okay, book.
Did anyone read?
You don't like the word novel?
No. I was like, oh, it's actually based on a story? Man.
Loosely.
It would have been a terrible novel.
But Philip K. Dick did everything.
Oh, yeah.
Total Recall,
Blade
Runner,
Oh. I did not
Minority
Minority
Report.
Report. I was going to say that.
No, let me say. Come on.
Fuck you,
Jesus.
Derek.
Did he do the new Blade Runner? Both?
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, no, but it's like a secret. It's pretty different than the book.
Have you read any?
What else?
read-
What
he
else?
wrote
Scanner
like this.
Darkly.
Yeah.
He also did Total Recall. Did I say that?
Yes.
I did.
He did both of those.
All right.
Matters.
All right.
Wait, you seen the new one, though?
No.
It's awesome.
Is it any good?
It's really good. Excuse me. Like I watched it with the full intention to be like, this is going to be awful. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to hate it. My buddy and I are watching it halfway in. I'm like, this is great.
Also,
Did it have the
Jessica
three-
Biel.
Did it have
also,
the 3-tit?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's.
was
what
it
I
Jessica
remember.
Biel? Did Jessica Biel have the 3?
No, I wish. She had 2, though. They're nice.
Yeah, 2 are enough on her.
Just dead silence. I cannot say she's attractive. Sure, she's a female.
Have you read Philip K. Dick either?
I read.
I have not.
I read Android's Dream of Electric Sheep, which is the
Yeah.
Blade Runner one, and then I started to read A Scanner Darkly, but I couldn't do it because
Yeah.
it's from the first half of the book is from a perspective of a drug addict. So the whole first chapter is like this crazy run on. It made me feel like I was on drugs because it's just constantly be like this, like the way like acts just start like people hire just keep going off, and it's just this constant.
Just stream of consciousness kind of. Because I find him like, I read the Android Dream of Electric Sheep, but then I tried to read other Philip K. Dick because people were like, oh, he's a master. But like him and Lovecraft, I'm just like, snooze-a-rama. I can't read any of that shit.
Lovecraft. Did you watch Color Out of Space?
No.
Speaking of Nicolas Cage.
Oh, yes, I did. Color Out of Space. That was
Creepy.
very creepy. Kind of weird all over the
It was
place.
very weird. Go feed your mother. Scary. I watched it when I was really high.
I haven't seen it. What's that one about?
It's this meteor crashes into Nicolas Cage's backyard and just
Yeah.
Sorry.
oh man, a meteor. What's that smell? And weird shit happens after that. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
It's like
it's very, very strange.
Pink takes over, not Pink the singer, but the color Pink
That'd be a
takes
great
over.
movie, too.
Yes.
She makes a cameo, I'm pretty sure. She just hangs out in the backyard.
She's like, I'm coming up.
why is Pink in the backyard?
Pink's coming up.
I didn't realize this had
This
Julianne.
party started.
What? I can't even think of any of her songs right now.
I don't.
I'm coming up.
Oh yeah.
I get her and Gwen Stefani confused all the time.
Racist.
Wow.
I know.
Is that like anti-feminist? Should we like whip you right now?
Please.
Get off the show. Like, all right. I've earned it. Oh, yeah, I didn't realize Jessica Biel was in this. I haven't seen her in anything since like Blade
She's
3.
She's there physically, but
Yeah.
let's be honest.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
barely in this.
There's she's just cruising that Seventh Heaven credit into films. I was like watching her in the movie. I'm like, she must be a very hard worker and a very nice person because her acting was terrible. There's one scene in particular where you're like, when people say, when they're like, people go, oh, I could see the acting. I could see them acting. And I was like, I don't know what that means until there's one scene with them at the Lookout Motel. And I'm like, oh, that's what that is. There, she's acting very, very hard.
What a weird movie. I was trying to think of what happened. My theory is it had a pretty great script, and then they shoehorned in because it's like one thing, and then it takes this weird, creepy love story angle, and then it tries to tie them in together. And I think it had a great script, and then at one point they're like, "This needs more dude and chick stuff," and then yeah.
But what about like, there's something, there's just the glaring thing. Like when I watched it for the 9th time, I only watched it twice. But I
Darren's
was like,
very old, has a very bad memory. He watched it. He's watching on the phone on the way when I pulled into the parking lot.
what happens again? Is I was like, what made the FBI or NSA, whatever they are, decide that they're like, oh, this really third-rate musician or magician. I thought he was a musician. Did I watch the movie? In Vegas is like can see 2 minutes in the future. We need him. He's gonna be the one he's gonna be the ace in our pocket. I was like, I don't fucking get it.
I was actually like, I didn't realize. I think I got this confused with Knowing, which I haven't seen, but I saw the trailers. I think they came out like the same year, and it's essentially the
Same month.
Well, this 07 was Ghost Rider and National Treasure.
Knowing they dig up a time capsule and there's numbers in it, and then it's a pattern that can predict the future. So he's able to know the future from this pattern thing. So that's knowing it predicts the apocalypse. Where this, he can just predict it with no.
Yeah.
And no real explanation of how he can see it. Like he seems to be able to manipulate this future in his head, so he can just test out different outcomes. Is this taking a massive amount of his brain processing power when he's doing this? Like, is he thinking about this, but also still focusing on what's happening? Can he split his mind in two?
Is it also in? Can he like look? Is it like a window? Like he looks in and he can dip his toe in and out. Does he watch it in real time? Because if you're trying to figure out what happens 2 minutes in the future, then it's 2 minutes has passed, and then you missed whatever opportunity to take advantage of that.
He can explore those. Like he can go and there's a few points in it where he very explicitly uses it within like nanosecond of each other, where he can be like, this, nope, this will happen. Then this, and I don't. It's like very.
He's just creating multiple timelines every time he does this. It should have been his power should have been he can rewind time, because that's kind of what he's doing. Like we're witnessing him watching the future. Then it's like it goes back. I'm like, well, you're basically just rewinding time. Why don't you just make that his power? He can rewind time 2 minutes, but it's longer if he meets Jessica Biel.
And he can go longer into the future. Well, because I actually liked.
That's a great. Oh my God, that's a great.
Is that premise? You're going to write it.
He's going to make that in 2021.
No, it could have been a really sad thing, like when he's waiting at the bar and he keeps waiting for her. Like that could have been at the beginning, and then we don't realize that's at the end, like right before everything blows up or something. So he's just reliving that 2 minutes. It could have got really dark before she gets shot or something.
Oh, that's dark. I like it.
Good existential. Like,
I mean,
can you write that story? Write that story.
Netflix, we got a script for you.
So we don't know when this is. Yeah. Anyway.
No, I think it's good. I actually really like the movie. I like the concept, and there's some fucking great scenes in it. But it's not stitched together in a way. And Julianne Moore, I think she's a fantastic actor. She's so good. I just don't believe her as a Clarice Starling kind of FBI NSA agent. I was like, that's not. And just too many lines.
Did you know she played Clarice Starling?
No, did she?
In Hannibal, yeah.
Hello, Clarice.
She did not.
She did.
She did too, actually.
She does.
She did.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. I hope she does a better
Well,
job.
that's still
of
your
playing
statement's still
Clarice.
invalid.
Yeah. I just
nailed
didn't
it.
believe her as that. She was just too like those tough lines coming out. I was like, I don't buy it.
The casting choice was yeah. I
have a feeling
agree with
she
you.
read it and then said it. I think that's what happened.
Like, I gotta get out of here.
Easy
Let's just get
paycheck,
this done.
easy payday.
It was written on the wall above the other actor's head.
Well, this is the most notable thing about Next that I was reading is was the last movie that Nicolas Cage was able to convince any A-list actors to be in a movie with him. After that, they're all like, who did they go? Oh, Nicolas Cage is in the movie. They're like, oh, no thanks.
This was right at the top of the hill when he hit. I think was at his prime.
It's the second wave after '84, I guess.
Yeah.
They're like, it might be
84.
good. They're like, no, we'll give him one more chance. How was the movie? It was shit. Oh, okay.
They got to get him in the Expendables 4 or Expendables 5. That's
gonna
like
be
that's
his
the saving.
comeback.
That's Stallone just saving all these old action heroes. He's like, hey, Dolph Lundgren, get in this movie. Huh?
Well, he has
Get as many as we can.
he's like, can you say I'd really like to work with Tarantino as Nicolas?
I'd really like to work with Quentin Tarantino.
That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna do a Travolta with him, I think.
He hasn't worked with
A
Tarantino.
third wave Travolta, we call it in the industry.
That's right.
It's going to be fantastic.
I hope he just makes movies till he's like 90.
And we steal the Declaration of Independence.
Twice or a third time.
Twice. We rewrite it.
So we start off. He's sitting in this diner waiting for his lady. Takes a drink of his martini, leaves, and goes does his magic show. And this is where I start thinking, I have no idea what this magic is really about. He can see the future. how is he doing straight up like, I'm going to take this baseball and turn it into a pigeon? Like, is he pausing time, moving, grabbing a pigeon, coming back, unfreezing it?
Because there is the point, like, an interesting note that the lady he brings on stage with him, that's his wife in real life.
Oh.
She was a waitress at a casino or something, and she was like 20, and then he said, "I'm gonna marry you."
I'm gonna marry you.
Oh, perfect. And but he does some actual magic when the necklace drops off, falls in the drink. It's sitting there, and then the next thing, it's in his pocket. I was like, he did some actual
Go ahead,
magic.
dig in there.
That's right.
It's
See that? Like, there's no explanation of why he's actually performing magic like that.
No.
Like,
That's because that was Nicolas Cage's idea to add that into the script.
it must have been.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to be magic.
Let me do some magic. I know how to make a necklace appear in my pocket.
I love
Let
that.
me get my wife in this. Honey, you want to be in the movie with me?
And I love that he can just do that. Just be like,
Yeah, I'm at the height of my power. Let's do it. Let's set that up. Can we? Thank you.
So he's in this casino. We see his first glimpse of how he sees this future. He sees this gunman walk out, pull a gun, shoot two people, and then it rewinds, and he's like slams him against a VLT, and then throws him down, grabs the gun, saves the afternoon, and the FBI or whoever, the cops are like, put it down. And
Well, because the casino guys were already looking at him because he's like, after I do my magic show, it doesn't make a lot of money, so I'll go and gamble instead. And I'm like, why don't you just gamble 10% more, and then you don't have to do this stupid magic show? But maybe it's a character thing, like the attention. If I could do that, I would also do magic.
but I do like his deke out of them before the shooting happens, or no, that's after. Sorry, and they chase him. Like that part of the movie, I'm like, I'm fucking all in. I'm like, it's so good.
That's when I would realize how great he is, because I think a lot of people don't. Well, I'm sure Jeffrey knows with his acting experience. The choices they make are not just random. You have to make a choice. So he was killing it in that, like, just the way he was performing in that, like, that switch round scene. I was like, this is just, he's like, he's fucking A-list movie star. He's killing it right now.
It's awesome.
It's like, this should be the most boring scene ever. And he's just like,
Tie my shoelaces.
yeah, I was totally into. I was like, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
This isn't going to suck.
It wasn't awful, but it wasn't great either.
No.
He steals a car. There's a height, like, because it was action packed. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of chases in this one, kind of like the Nash.
He's right behind you. Turn around. He's right behind you. He's like,
Deke, Deke, Deke. And these guards are just like, huh?
Yeah.
What? Who? Where? Steals a car, high speed chase, and he gets. No, he gets.
He does a train dodge.
The best thing about this
he escapes.
is that it's so limited. Like, the 2 minutes is such a fun concept because you're like, it's not a lot, but you could really do a lot. It's like if you knew even just a 5-minute window in the future, how much you could get done. Like, you could win lottery ticket. There's so many things you could do if you just had a little window. So it's like there's so much. It's like it's perfectly limited in that he's not like overpowered or like it's. Yeah, anyway.
I just started gambling on Keno. I think you got about a minute and 45 seconds between draws. At least you could get 8 numbers.
Yeah.
That's a terrible superpower. Is it a superpower? I don't know.
Is it a curse? Well, let's find out.
It seems like it's a curse.
Fucking find out. Woo!
There you go.
Okay, we're
So sorry.
He goes in.
Car chase.
I've been watching too much Nick Cage today.
So this is where So Royball's the cop and Ferris is the FBI agent. So they meet up. They come in like the buddy's like, hey, we gotta go. Let's go for a little drive. So he takes them to meet in the gigantic FBI trailer truck they have somewhere that's like the size of like 3 times the size of my apartment, and that's where we learn that they've been were they analyzing the stuff there. Yeah, because they're noticing it's like he's looking at the camera, they're analyzing his casino camera, and it's like, this is where I said, oh, I think he's looking right at us. Because apparently now he can access your consciousness if you're in the same...
Or if you're thinking about him, I don't know what. It's all very sketchy, but
I found the FBI and the cop scenes very rushed, very fast, very high tempo, fast camera movements. There was no static shots. It was just, we found this, and we got this evidence, and we're going to get him here. It's like... What? Slow down. Like,
well, that's the moment where they really, the first thing they flash on them, it's Juliana Moore and then with her boss standing there, and he's like, why are we here in Vegas? We got a 8 megaton kilobomb nuclear loose, and you're just like, oh, they just got like this piece of story and fucking hammer it in, like try to
For a movie about trying to stop a nuclear explosion in America, there's very little about this bomb. I was like, I thought I knew what the whole movie was going to be. I'm like, this is going to be great. And then they clearly...
You see it three times. Once at the start to establish a nuke has been taken, and then another time they're putting the warhead into the nuke, and then at the end.
What happens at the end?
You don't even
What?
see it at the end.
I don't know.
So you see it twice.
You feel it at the end.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, he saw it in the future. I've watched every outcome.
Can we just spoil the end? No, we don't want to spoil the end right now.
let's wait.
I don't. Well,
Let's
whatever.
wait. So this is where they realize that it's like between. It's just so stupid. They're watching him. He's like, okay, that was a minute 26. He saw those numbers, but then there's like a 2 minute and 16 mark where he didn't see that, so it's somewhere in between there.
This is
I'm
where
like,
Julianne Moore shouldn't have just worked for the FBI. She should have been a special sect, like X-Files style, in the FBI, being like, we've seen this before.
Yeah.
We need to. There's been other people that have these type of abilities, not necessarily that type of ability, but I've seen this before. I'm an expert in this field. I'm not just. If anybody said that, you'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I did. Well,
How do you afford a pantsuit with thoughts like that?
Where did you get this idea from?
I just don't understand why I was like, you guys. There's a like. I would be so mad if I was her boss. I'd just be like, you realize there's a nuclear bomb in the city. What are you fucking
Okay,
doing?
fine. You have 5 days. You got 5 days to figure it out.
All right, so I know this magician in Vegas. The
That's
guy
right.
can
You're like-
see, pretty sure he can see the future. Watch his show.
Give me
Nobody
your
else
badge.
can do that.
Give me your badge and gun, Clarice.
So then he's in the shop with the old guy. I meant to look up who that old guy was because it made it seem like it was
Columbo, dude.
Oh, was it? I don't know.
Yeah.
It didn't really seem important. It was some dude he was hanging out with in the shop.
I feel it's like, well, he's Columbo. He's a Princess Bride. He's the grandfather who reads the story to Fred Savage. Yeah. And then he was like Columbo for years. Was like the detective.
Yeah.
I'm 90 years old.
You're showing your age here.
Yeah,
you know.
totally.
I'm sorry we're podcasting so late. I'll try to get you out here.
So
about
I've got
5:30.
liver and onions calling my name.
So it just seems like Nick Cage wanted to work with that guy.
Yeah.
So this is where she shows up. So he's like, oh, I can see her. And then she comes walking in. I'm like, oh,
So this is the first time we get the.
Second,
Ferris meeting with.
I was trying to think of what to call it because it's the unreliable.
the rewind. I think the
Narrator.
rewind is. Can we just
Well,
call
it
it the
just-
rewind?
It just seemed. Let's call
the
it
flash forward.
Okay.
So this is the first flash forward we get.
Yeah.
When Julianne Moore
Se-
walks in and is like, she's like, you've been expecting me.
Second one.
Second one.
First one was the
Shooting
the gun
in
guy in the
that's
casino.
right.
So second flash forward.
Bait and switch, but the switch and bait because it's backwards.
It just seems like we would watch this whole future roll out, and then he would like come back, and she'd be standing right in front of him because it's been 2 minutes. It seems like it should be real time, or it is real time. So is he like in a microsecond processing this 2 minutes?
Maybe he
at
sees it
all
like a
times?
memory. Maybe you can look into it and it's like.
Yeah, because
like it would
he almost. You're right though. It is like a rewind because he follows it through, sees what the conclusion, and then just makes a different choice and changes it. So it's almost as if he does actually live it.
Or maybe he just lives it in a microsecond, and we just get to watch it in real time because it's a movie.
Maybe also we're overthinking this.
Oh, probably.
It also doesn't
It's a
bother
Nicolas
me.
Cage
It's
movie.
that good of a concept where you don't really have to.
Yeah.
It's a little annoying. Like he could just been like, I could only see it like a memory. Like that would have been great. And then we'd be
Yeah.
like, all right, great, we got it.
But that's that's the thing. There's a lot of goodwill in that because it's so cool and the setup is so great. And then it starts to fall apart. But there's so much goodwill that you're willing to like overlook it and be like, oh, okay, I'm down anyways.
Yeah, it's like that. I just went to go give an example of a movie, but I didn't actually have one ready. It's like that Tom Cruise movie.
wait.
That one you guys know.
Live, Die, Repeat. What's that one called?
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's like
I
that.
love that movie.
It's good.
That's a little more cut and dry and more explained. So it's I don't know. It's like Looper. You seen Looper?
Yeah.
That was Hayden Christensen.
Yeah.
And Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
That's Jumper.
Oh,
Not-
Jesus.
Jumper is Hayden Christensen, which is another in the same genre. That's a great point because that was 2006, I think. This is 2007. There was a lot of these like weird post X-Men superhero book movies.
Oblivion came out around that time too. Another Tom Cruise movie, I think.
And was that a?
That was a little
a-
later, I
That's
think.
where he's
But
like a clone, I think, isn't he?
spoiler.
Spoiler. Oh, shit. We'll
Oh,
edit it out.
I haven't seen it.
I don't know. I
right.
could be totally
No,
wrong.
that's
I'm
right.
guessing. I'm seriously guessing. I'm like,
There's
I don't know.
Jumper and there was there was one guy with Pusher. There's
Oh,
Chronicle.
just
Push
with Chris Evans.
Pusher.
Pusher.
Yeah,
All
so
about
there's all
drugs.
these like just like this movie, where the regular dude gets these sort of cool powers that create more problems than
But
solve.
he does allude to it at one point that he's like when he has his imaginary flash forward conversation with Juliana Moore.
Where she basically says, "Hey, there's some nukes, and we need you to save the world."
Yeah, and he's like, "What? So I can sit? I'm not even gonna try to do what? So I can sit in a place and they show you flashcards for 32 hours." How was that for Nick Cage?
Angry New York Nick Cage.
That's angry
Hey!
Nick Cage, which I didn't have time to work on. But yeah,
Okay, good.
Keep trying though. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect.
yeah, which is interesting because it alludes to a sad past where he was just put in a. It makes sense that the government would want to use him as a weapon or like to get 2 minutes ahead
Yeah.
of everybody.
And then he'd want to just kind of fuck them off, like be like, "I'm not gonna do it. I've already been down that."
That's why I
road."
think he should have been more of like a vagrant. Can you say that anymore? A vagabond? A vagabond where he's
we
a bit-
prefer
Like-
hobo.
like a traveling hobo.
like a con man where he just kind of travels around and really uses his
Yes.
ability to just walk into a hotel and just keep trying names until
Oh yeah.
because you can use that to look in the guest book because at one point he gets a license plate number, remember?
Yes.
So you could just go on and be like, yeah, Mr. Richards, I'm here to blah blah blah, and then he just walks in and then he's like, yeah, I'm gonna take a shower, and then he's always in this nice places, but he has no money because he doesn't even need money if you think about it.
No.
it's
He
weird
could
that he's
just
paying
run
rent.
scams.
You could live rent free, live cost free, essentially, just easily. Test out every single
It's good.
potential
We're all
outcome.
really showing our hand here, though.
seeing-
Like, what would you do if you had the
seeing
thing?
seeing the
con
value
man.
of this. Oh man, you get to a point where you get bored because you try everything and then be like, well, time to turn to a life of evil.
I think that's where the movie should have gone.
Next again, next two. They left it on a cliffhanger. No spoilers. The end of this movie was awful.
Yeah, a little bit.
It was. I was like, we're gonna have to sit through this again. It just-
So stupid. Okay, so we have met Jessica Biel here now? Yes. So he goes back, rewinds through that, and is like, well,
No,
time
but
to go.
it starts with these flashes of Jessica Biel. It's implying, and he keeps showing him waiting at a bar with a martini, and she
Yeah.
walks into this, or a diner, sorry.
He's also an alcoholic because for the first few times they say they don't talk about it at all. He's always got a martini, like he's just hammering straight vodka.
Every
Either
time he's
8
at a
a.m. or
First
8
fif-
p.m.
Yes.
Wait, it has to be.
Note.
It has to be PM because who does a magic show at 8
No, they
a.m.?
said because he shows up at 8 a.m. and p.m. Because he doesn't know.
twice a day.
He can see the clock, but he doesn't know what time, even though it's fucking daytime.
Yeah, like well, it is Vegas. I guess it's a daytime till what 10 o'clock. It doesn't really get that dark even in the winter.
I don't know. I'm not a
think he was-
meteorologist,
Do
Jeff.
you not know your geography here? How do you not know the relative temperature of Vegas? I don't know where it is. So now this is where Jessica Biel comes walking in and she goes and sits down. So he's like, "Oh shit! I've been waiting for this my entire life, basically."
And then, but that's another amazing scene, like just so good.
And it's fun. It reminds me of that Groundhog Day style fun where you're like, he's just going to bat and just
Dropping the toaster in the bathtub,
Yeah.
killing himself. Let's get some flapjacks.
Yeah, we are only at the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, I'm like halfway. I'm like, well, a third of the way through my notes. Yeah, this scene was great, though, where he keeps repeating his attempts to go and pick her up, and he keeps getting rejected. I did really enjoy the fighting, how he's just deking Buddy out every single swing, that douchebag ex-boyfriend stalker.
I would be a much more confident and confrontational person if I had that power. Just I'd be walking, fuck you, buddy. He'd be like, he's not
old
going to do
man.
anything.
It's like when you tell off your boss in your head and you're like,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what would have happened.
You know how he's going to react. You're like, it's okay. I can
Right.
get out of this.
How many
That'd be
times have I
funny
had
to
those
see a movie where
arguments?
this guy is totally a pussy and doesn't do anything. Like he's at his desk and he's like telling off his boss, and then just cuts back to him at his desk. He's like, "No, that's what would have happened. That's what would have happened." If I...
So he beats up this. Well, he takes a shot in the face. That's the last attempt.
That
Gets
was
punched in the face, which was
wonderful
really good.
moment because
Yeah.
I was like, I wasn't expecting that, and he's like,
Incoming.
he takes it.
Yeah. Well, he just, because he realizes he's like, oh,
That's the
yeah,
only way.
if I show off for her, it's not going to, but if I get clocked, and she's like, you must be out of your mind to get involved in this.
Your pussy doesn't stand a chance. I can see the future.
That would see right there. That's the evil. the
How many
evil
people
road
has he
there.
fucked with this power?
Manipulated
yeah.
every one
He
of
can
these
literally
other men.
try it until he just has to say like hello, say hello the right way, and they're like, okay.
Whoosh.
So they end up. He's
100% batting average.
he says his car got stolen, but there's no mention of it
No.
before. He's like, oh my car's been stolen. I have to go to Flagstaff.
I don't mean to keep cutting you off, but this is the most. I've never watched a movie where, like, everything about it, the love story is screaming no.
Yeah.
But the script is saying it's happening.
Well, there's no
I
way.
hope you're not a psycho.
Well, you
if I
don't
get
seem
any
like-
psycho
Yeah.
vibes, you're out of here.
You're kind of cute. And he's like, oh.
deal. How do you,
If Nicolas Cage wasn't an actor and you didn't know who he was and you just saw him, you'd be like, that's a weird fucking guy.
especially with that hair,
Yeah.
man. That hair. I don't know what's going on with that.
It's pre-transplant. It's pre-wig. I think he's wearing a wig now.
That's right. There's one moment, like just after the diner scene, where they're out at the res, and the one girl says, like, I think he likes you because he looks at you the way my brother looks at his girlfriend. And the thing cuts, he's just got like this fucking weird, like, sideways grin, like.
This guy, do not. Yeah, if this was any woman I knew who made all these choices, I'd be like,
Red flags.
you seem nice. Can I give you a ride? Oh, yeah. I'm going there. Where are you going? Flagstaff. Oh, I'm going there too. What a coincidence. 100%. What would happen if I took out my dick right now? Doesn't work. Okay, now I know.
Hello.
Next
That's what
time.
he does
What-
like. It doesn't work. That's what I like.
Oh no, you can just relive it. Let me try it now. No. How about now? No.
So the cops question.
How about I pull it out with these guys? No. Maybe she'll like that. No. Is it just me? Yeah. Oh.
Stop! No more Nicolas Cage pulling his dick out. Okay, go again. I'm good now.
One more time.
All right. Oh, I'll put it away. So the cops question the staff at the diner. They get some information. These guys go to a reserve in the. I must say that little tribe
Yeah.
town at the bottom of that waterfall is pretty breathtaking. Was that the Grand Canyon? I've never been to the Grand Canyon.
I've never been to the Grand Canyon. Have you been to Vegas?
No.
Yeah. Vegas is great. I
That's
never
what I hear.
been to the canyon. Have I?
No.
Kate's actually. My wife has done the hike down.
Because it's. Wait, hold on. 'Cause
You do
is it part of the Hoover Dam? Is part of Hoover Dam part of the Grand Canyon?
Let's
It's on the
say
way.
yes.
I saw the Hoover Dam.
Okay. I want to say yes. Maybe.
But I do. Yeah, it looks amazing. I don't think that's in the Grand Canyon, but
It's on the way.
Could be.
It was pretty cool. It
Yeah.
was pretty impressive. They came over the crest of that hill. I was like, damn.
And and it is a very telling because the first thing he wants to do when she's like, "Oh, I work here. You know, we don't have any money. I teach on the reservation." And he's like, "Do they have a shaman?"
wanna talk to the shaman.
That's right. Straight away, I'm just like, oh,
And they never had that
He never even.
scene. I
No.
never
Yeah,
even
he
thought
never
of that.
talked to the shaman.
no.
Because that would have been great to see some, explanation or.
I think that wound up on the cutting room floor. I'm sure there is a shaman scene in there somewhere.
Oh, probably. But in this scene, and this is again going back to the straight up magic. He takes a rock, puts it in the kid's hand, and turns it into a gecko.
He puts a CG rock in a kid's hand and turns it into a gecko.
Didn't look real. That again, I'm like, oh, he's just a sorcerer, straight up,
Yeah.
real magic. And
But he
then-
does that. Well, he does that sleight of hand, but also it's like a lizard. I'm sure that kid would have rather had an Xbox or something.
Yeah, $10, $20
Yeah.
or something.
The combination of my psychic abilities and my real magic, your pussy doesn't stand a chance.
Let me whip my dick
That's
out.
gonna be the title of this episode. Your pussy doesn't stand a chance.
I can see the fucking future. he could fuck me. He'd fuck me in like a second.
He's got that voice, man.
Yeah.
Smooth like butter. So now we find Ferris at the range practicing her push and execute,
Yeah.
knocking down the target and just point blank taking shots at it. I'm like, all right, that's a new one. But we learn later it actually works. She practiced it. She did it.
She is a
guys
good
remember
shot.
that?
Well, they have all these stuff in there that they need to be like, because it's tied to the end where it's like, oh, she's an amazing shot. So we need to make sure, like, get her in a gun range because no one's going to believe that she can shoot unless we show her previous to that. And that's when the guy comes up. He's like,
Set
pretty
up-
close. And she just throws him to the ground and 40 yards away. Just,
Set up
execution
and payoff. That's movie making. That's
all-
movies.
It's foreshadowing right now, or right there, I believe they call it.
That's what I'm so bad at deconstructing movies.
That's why we're here, man. We're practicing.
Teach me.
So that they come back, rainy. Okay, they're driving back in the rain. He does that. It rained fish jokes.
That was fucking.
Was that a joke? That raining fish thing?
He's
That
like,
was.
Let me
once
let me
rained
just
fish.
let me just do some improv here. Let's see if this works.
It took the eggs up, and the eggs moisturized in the air, and fish came down.
He's killing it with
It
her.
happened in France, so that way she can't check it.
And then you pretend you like it, like
50 years ago. Oh my god.
Yeah, don't get in a car with a guy that looks like that. He's gonna whip his dick out.
Hey kid, you want to see something? So they stay at a hotel.
Let me try it now. Oh, it didn't work. Okay. Didn't work for you. Oh. I'm sorry.
Okay, they spend a night at a hotel. He sleeps outside, and then
So she knows.
Like a gentleman. That was nice.
Yes.
in the car though. Like Sal sleep on the floor, maybe the
But
couch.
but let's be honest here. He did that because he knew later that day he was gonna fuck her. That was part of
Yeah.
the future he saw. Oh, I gotta
He's
sleep
like,
in the
"This is
car.
what's gonna get
I gotta sleep in the
done."
car first, and then it'll work.
I've seen all the possible outcomes.
None of it ends up good for you.
So at this point, yeah, the FBI found the permit on the car from some video. They enhanced the closed circuit television video. I love that when they do that in movies.
But it wasn't as clear as I was anticipating for a film. From
It was clear enough though.
it's true.
It's pretty clear.
What, when they do the zoom in, resolution,
Enhance.
zoom in, enhance.
Enhance.
And that's not an actual thing they can do, right?
No.
Okay, good.
Well, I don't know. I'm not 100%. Don't quote me on this, but I think there's this technology where you can, like software where you can, zoom in on something and then use pixels to fill in what
Yeah.
it thinks it is.
This is why it's so fucked because people are like,
I'm
"Can you
not a
zoom in
coder.
and make?" You're like, "No, it just is."
This is a
now
Phil-
it's just like 8 big blocks.
Yeah,
It's a
just-
Philip K.
it's
Dick
blurry.
thing because I think they do that in Minority Report a lot. He zooms in on to find the house number and a reflection somewhere. Oh. Blade Runner, there's one with that scene that takes 20 minutes. It's
Yeah,
like,
right.
and he looks in like a reflection of a mirror and a spoon.
Jeez. See, you can't do that. It's
No,
it's magic.
is that Philip K. Dick's
I don't think
proprietary
it's. I don't know.
sci-fi?
I think it's. I don't know what people's interpretation of it. I didn't have anything funny to say at the end of that, so I
Okay,
apologize.
no, that's fine.
So we cut back to the cops. There's a nuclear alert. They're in LA, and that's when they're like, "Get me, Chris Johnson." So the cops show up at this hotel that they're at, and the French people. Oh yeah, in the midst of all this, the French people, the gaming commission,
Yes.
ended up killing the cop, and they're looking for Chris Johnson as well because they're on to the fact that the FBI
Yeah.
are looking for Chris Johnson so he can foil their nuclear plans.
Why don't they just? Well, that's the thing that I didn't understand too, because the bad guys, and then also the one guy murders that girl in the hotel because it's like as if you didn't think he was bad enough. Here, that he's really an awful human being. But
in that-
also too was just like, just forget about let the NSA go off on their wild goose chase after.
Yeah, stop meeting
That
them at
guy-
places.
Just stick to your nuke
fucking-
plan. Just
yeah.
stay away from them. That's the easiest solution. You don't have to kill the guy.
Yeah.
It almost felt like there was 3 different movies in this. There's his magician life and
Mm-hmm.
and the love with Jessica Biel. Then there's the cops kind of doing their thing, and then there's the new French guys.
I do like the French terrorists. Like, there's no talk about like why they want to do. I guess they're just bad guys, so that's fine.
Generic villains.
But I like one of the guys. I was like, what is he reading when they're sitting up in the office? And he's like, and he just says something like, the big guy wants us to go find the psychic.
They did
And-
mention a big guy.
Take care of
Yeah,
him.
and that's all that they just call him the big guy. So it's very vague. But the one guy's got his feet up on the desk. He's reading Club magazine. I just thought that was pretty funny. I was like,
Porno.
before
I think
cell phone.
I wonder because you brought up how all the FBI stuff feels different. So I wonder if that was all
Intentional?
in after, like maybe
Like they might have added the
they added that in because there's a big guy we're missing. That feels like it seems weird that they're. It seems weird that
Yeah.
you'd write that they'd be kind of chasing everybody.
Well, don't we see that French boss in like the second French people scene? It's in the factory they're at when they're loading up the warhead.
there's
and
no-
he's just the guy who's like, the FBI are after him and he's after us, so we should take care of him.
But he's
Get
the one
rid
who
of
said
him.
he alludes to like a big boss. He's like the
Oh,
guy
okay.
they want us. The big guy wants us to go and get them. But it
Gotcha.
does feel like I'm sure there's a lot of like when they turned in the copy of the movie. I'm sure it was like we need to stem the bleeding on this. Like
need
go out and
something
shoot
else.
some whatever they
I
call.
wonder if Nicolas Cage was the big guy.
Whoa, twist.
Wouldn't that have been cool?
M. Night Shyamalan have a credit in this?
it. Shamalong and Ding Dong. All right.
At 42 minutes, I was
Yeah.
thinking of you because a dude takes a pill. Water. I'm like, 42 minutes. That's how far in we are. 42 minutes, and we're at like 52. This is crazy. It's only
catching
an
up.
hour 36. He lights a rose on fire, makes a rose up.
That's
Have you ever seen that too? It was like, how? Legitimately, how are you doing that?
Well, that's
Well,
just like
as somebody who he's probably got as somebody who has dipped his toe into magic, who has several books. You just carry a fake rose around with you with the off chance.
that's right.
Do you need arcane magic powder for that though?
No, that's a
does it with
specialty
Just-
rose he bought for $60.
Tony's joke shop, and then also but pair up that rose with some 16th century poetry. That'll take you in.
Yeah.
Whatever the beauty of
Beauty,
all parts of the thing with the bling,
is-
put them together.
It's not nothing needs to be added or taken away.
It's the sum of the parts.
I'm gonna take my dick out. Oh no, it didn't work.
Wait, oh,
Now
it's
it
gonna
works.
Your pussy doesn't stand a
It
chance.
doesn't stand a chance. You can't. This doesn't seem consensual. If I can control time and you can't, this is problematic.
So this is where the FBI catch her and they show her the video of him stopping a murder. And she's like, oh my God.
I'm gonna drug him.
Oh my God. And they're like, he's a liar. He's manipulating you. He's been playing you the whole time. She just buys it. She's like, oh, okay. Damn
And
it.
she-
I've been so stupid.
And if there's any like doubt when she's like, I don't know if I can do, she's like, you work out at the res teaching kids. We're both work for the feds, kind of on the same team, right? She's like, you have a point. Okay, I'll drug them.
Nothing in this movie is earned.
No.
None of the decisions made by any of these characters are earned. None of the set pieces are earned. None of the chases are earned.
One of the many chases.
The best chase, I think, just comes up in a minute, but that was my favorite one of the movie.
I hated it the most.
That was I was laughing so hard at that
Yeah.
part. Okay, before we get to that, it's there. Yeah, she's gonna drug him. So she drugs him. After 2 minutes, he goes and shave.
So what was the deal with how did she do that? Because he knew.
She had to wait. They told her to wait like over 2 minutes, so she waited. And then after 2 minutes had elapsed when he was in like shaving his face. Second time he shaves in the movie.
I think you just need a tranquilizer that doesn't kick in for more than 2 minutes, and that would work, right?
No, I think they
'Cause you could
they
trank
just
him
wait
and then-
to drop it into the drink because otherwise he would see like if she did it at a minute 30, he'd be able to.
But he can only see himself, if he's in the other room.
We should have been high for this. We should have been high
I
for
was
this.
high for
conversation.
this. It didn't help. It didn't help. This is so confusing. Yeah, they're like wait 2 minutes because like I guess that if he doesn't see you for 2 minutes, then you're not in his future.
Yeah.
For 2 minutes.
It didn't make sense, but she does it and then has a change of heart. And
Don't
she's,
drink that.
yeah.
No reason. And unearned. I'm actually loyal to you, crazy guy with crazy hair that I just met yesterday.
When I
He's
run
not
my
a
hands
psycho.
through your hair plugs, it's so smooth.
Now this is where she's like, they say you're crazy and you're a killer and you're a liar, and he's like changing the TV and he's like, oh, there's no better place to buy a mattress. Click.
That scene was great.
Yeah.
There's moments in this I loved. I love
Totally.
that. And
It was cool.
He kept, yeah. That's the best way to prove it.
And she actually did respond very well, like acting wise. I was like, oh, it's believable. She's tearing up. She's like, oh my God, how are you doing this?
But she does a weird. That's the part where she does this weird lip biting, where you could see her act. Where he's like, "I think we need to deke these NSA guys," and then she does like a side bite on her lip.
Did they already have sex? They had sex in the
Yes.
Yeah,
that morning. Okay. The
They-
morning, right?
yeah.
Well, after you
Probably night 2.
They fucked her off.
ever slept in a car? You know how gross you are after you
How
slept in a
sore. How sore you are. Hey, you're sweaty. You're all
He's in
kicked
good
up.
shape though. When he took his
Yeah.
shirt off, he took his shirt off immediately.
He made Ghost Rider just like a couple months before
Was he
this,
jacked
so
in Ghost Rider?
He had to have been. I know.
Yeah.
I've never actually seen it, and I want to watch it and review it.
Can you
Yeah.
think about that? He's no longer. Well, he might be a little shredded now, but he's been shredded since '82, all the way up to 2007.
movie shape.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, he's always making movies, so he always has to be in movie shape.
And he does, and there is something where they're like, oh, he does like, of course he does like jiu-jitsu, karate, aikido, Thai fighting, like does all that stuff, right?
In real life?
In real life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's like, and there's nothing else to do. That's the great thing about being a movie star is you're like, people cook for you and then you just work out 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
Well, did you hear about like Chris Hemsworth when he bulked up for Thor? He had to eat, I think it was like 5,000 or 10,000 calories every day. So his personal trainer and chef would like wake him up every 4 hours, make him eat. He'd be like,
my
if
God.
he's sorry, not wake him up every 4 hours, but he's sleeping in the middle of the night. He's like, wake up, you got to eat. Eat a
God.
full meal, go back to sleep.
That
wake-
sounds awesome.
I do that anyway. I set an alarm.
So this was the greatest, one of the greatest Nicolas Cage action scenes ever, where he walks out. So Julianne Moore is across the freaking valley, and he comes walking out, and she's like, "Don't do it," and he's like,
Because she tried to talk him into helping. He said no and ran
Yes.
away with this random
yeah, 'cause
girl
they got
he's
it on
having
the phone.
visions of. And then, so this is their chance to catch. I want to see how they're going to do it. Like, how do you catch a guy that can see 2 minutes in the future? What a fun problem. Okay, please continue.
she's like, "Don't do it," and he's like, "I already have." And then he does exactly what I thought he was going to do. He jumps down the canyon wall,
Yeah.
and starts one of the most amazing foot chases ever.
His stunt double does. There's that one shot where it's like, that doesn't even look like Nicolas Cage.
But what's her plan? Like, we're just gonna throw this Jeep in drive and drive it through this empty water tower and down the canyon and possibly
And-
kill Nicolas Cage.
And pulled everything with it. The water tower, the old fashioned like wagon
fake
train,
train.
all the like, oh, it was amazing.
Because he told her what to do, right?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Well,
How do you
did. He's-
explain that to somebody?
And it's as he's running down the canyon, he also there's airs of Keanu Reeves there where he
Matrixes. Yeah.
dodges a bullet like an agent.
I wrote down, I was like, this must have been the coolest moment in the whole script. And then they shot it, and he's like, oh. Like, this like super wide shot. He's like, oh. Ah.
And it should have been, there was no,
No, and
Yeah.
he
Just
was
like
2 feet away from where it shot. His body wasn't even like he was leaning back. It was like, oh, you just
like,
you stand 2 feet away and then just
this is the moment where they realize I'm unstoppable.
Yeah, they could have lots of cool moments where like all that chaos is coming down, and he just like walks through it like
Yeah.
a I boy.
these cool guys don't look at
I also feel
Yeah.
bad for all the collateral damage. Like he must also not only see like how to escape, but also all the people who are murdered.
Where are we gonna get our water? This is the desert, man. Where are we
Mention
supposed-
that water tower probably killed 8 agents on the way down.
What's my baby gonna drink?
There was no water in it though. There was
right.
no
There
water.
was no
in it.
water.
It was a decorative water tower. I was expecting like, oh, this is gonna be crazy. Water rushing down the canyon. No, boom, just the lid falls off.
That was empty.
Point of this thing. Well, we were gonna tear it down anyway. Thanks.
And he's down on the bottom facing off with Clarice, and she's like, you're not gonna you're not gonna let me die, are you? And then what if he just said, ugh, and just walked away? I mean, that doesn't make the movie.
What
but
a great moment where she like uses his.
Yeah.
That's a great way to catch him. That's how they caught him, I guess. But it's like you're not gonna let me die, so I'm gonna use your power against me.
And also too, he's like, that sets him up as like he is a moral dude. Besides all the times he took his dick out in the future and then changed his mind, he's a very moral,
Allegedly.
ethical person.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
We're just spitballing here. They also unleash a pile of logs in this chase as well. And I love the sort of Final Destination-esque logs falling, flipping the cop car over, almost killing him. It was pretty outrageous.
I've never seen that movie.
Final Destination?
No.
You will,
Final Destination 2.
you will never drive behind a logging truck ever
Yeah.
again after you watch that movie. You won't. I'll see a logging truck and think, oh, shit, I got to get past this thing. Move! People driving in right in yeah. Anyway.
That's on tonight.
You got to watch it. It's good. So he gets locked up. They put him in a room, pry his eyes open, and make him watch the news because their plan is like, we got to find this nuke, and the only way to find it is if you watch the news.
This world's gonna blow up in 2 minutes.
She's like,
What do we do? Okay, get on a plane. Shit.
Nothing.
Are we just calling their wives and crying?
That's why it's such a terrible kind of. It's a great premise, but terrible with the nuke thing because you're like, yeah, it's a useless skill. Whatever. Anyways, fine.
But the Jessica Biel character somehow enhances his
Yeah.
his future reach.
he can see farther.
So
with her.
that should have been a plot point, being like, I need the girl to
see in the future.
to see more farther in the future.
But that's also, well, that's how he's able to get the tags. I'm only calling
'Cause she
license
gets
plates from
kidnapped.
now on tags.
Tags.
That's how he gets the tags for that car because it's her. She's riding in it, so he can see hours, days in the future with her.
Yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to explain
I just
it.
wanted you to know that.
Just gonna call them tags from now on. So he figures out where she is because she gets
Do you have
blown up.
tags circled in your notes
I
there?
do.
All
I
caps.
Got that in. Perfect. Tags.
So
Killed it.
he figures out
Nailed
where she is, and he's like, "If you let me out of here, I'll help you find her." So I'm like thinking, like, let him blink too.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got the Clockwork Orange sunglasses on. I'd love a pair of sunglasses that look like that.
They're so comfortable. Let's get used to the.
You know what the part that I thought was so funny? They had the guy doing the drops, and then he just laughed.
She just
Hey, get back here! I need to blink. Hey! It's so brutal.
So he beats. How does he get out of here? Because he beats his way out through 8
Oh, yeah.
people.
No, he talks her out of it. Oh, and then he does a fight.
Yeah, he gets a cigarette and then runs to where because he sees her get blown up. He does see her in the future get disintegrated.
Yeah, why
and
not?
then runs to that.
Like I think
parking
would have
garage.
been way more effective if he didn't actually throw any punches. If he was just able to like
Dodge him.
get them to slip on
We'd
banana
already
peels
seen him
and shit.
do that in the casino, though.
That part reminded me of. Did you ever see Paycheck?
No,
Ben
maybe.
Affleck. That's the next one we're doing. Paycheck. John Woo. Also Philip K. Dick. That's where he has amnesia and he's working on like a time machine thing. He gets amnesia. He gets his memory wiped. Then he gets out of it. This is a little side. I'll be real quick. And then he
You know what I'm talking about?
and then he gets a package from himself from the past, but he doesn't remember it with all this random shit. And he doesn't know what it's for.
Does he rent out space in his brain? Is that the one? Is that
No, he's like reverse engineer stuff, and then they wipe his. So they get an iPad, and then he'll reverse engineer it. Then the company wipes his memory, so they get to keep all the property. So he just figures it out. So he's a genius. But he does it with a time machine looker thing, window, and then they wipe his memory, and then he gets his package with all this random shit like hairspray and like a lighter and like a key, and then he gets chased by these people that are trying to kill him. And then all these items, he'll be like, oh, and then there'll be like a key, and he'll be like, oh, he'll try the key on the door, and the key will work.
that sounds good?
Crazy.
It's great.
Yeah.
From what I remember being 14.
Oh, okay.
But it's John Woo,
How
Ben
well did
Affleck,
it-
Kind
did
of
it
has.
age?
Oh, it's Ben Affleck. That's who's in it.
2005, 2006. So it's like
Almost has an air of like Memento about it from how you're describing it.
also this movie. That's what that fight scene reminded me of because he kept like, dodging shit and
in Paycheck.
in
this
next. This hallway scene as he escaped the
I was thinking like, man, he's a tough guy, but I remembered, oh yeah, he can see every possible
Yeah.
outcome in the future, so he's guaranteed to win fights, no problem. So this was believable, and like Nicolas Cage, he's like he's 6 feet tall and he's pretty built, so it's not
yeah.
like he's a weakling in this at all, just an ass kicker. So he gets away. They have a foot chase down the middle of the freeway until he gets to the spot where it's like this is where it is. This is where she dies. And she catches up to him. She's like, "Okay, well, let's figure this out." This is where he finds the tags.
Yes.
Yes.
And he also he goes out and pretends to get shot.
Yeah, this is the next scene right here. Yeah.
With
So,
the sniper.
but
right?
so he can see. He saw really far into the future there, but she wasn't anywhere around.
No, she was in the back of the van. Like he sees the van,
But he
pull
wasn't
up
near
with
her. Is it?
No,
you can just
no.
see what.
But because he saw her on the news, when he's watching the news, he somehow knew she was involved, or she
Yeah.
figured out he was.
I
she
guess
was
he
involved.
can only see really far into the future
if she's
she's involved.
yeah.
With
And
the
she was
events.
in the
Okay.
back of the van with the vest of explosives on her.
And I think just because she's entered his consciousness in the past, then guaranteed he can find her wherever. Or he can advance time in his brain if it involves her. So he just knew, he's like, if I watch the news and I think of her, I'm going to
When
find her.
she blew up in that chair, I was like, that's so funny.
Well, the news, that reporter would not
That
sit
was-
there and go like, oh my God.
That was actually
They
I
would
thought-
probably just cut to black and be like, oh, we're having some
Yeah.
technical
Oh my
difficulties.
God.
Yeah,
It's a
let's just
snuff
go,
film.
go to commercial.
Not just awkwardly hold on her while she breaks down.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, she was identified as Elizabeth, blah, blah. I'm like, how'd you get that info so fast? So somebody's blew up. Oh, you guys got her DNA already? Perfect.
But I did like that was one of the scenes I actually thought was a great piece of acting from that news reporter because she looked legitimately disturbed.
That would mess you up, man. Somebody just blew up.
Oh, yeah.
If you just
Yeah.
exploded right now, that'd be terrifying.
Did you ever see that documentary about that
Oh yeah, about the pizza robbery guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
with the necklace of bombs or whatever?
Yeah.
That was messed up. Some crazy people out there. I can't watch those crime documentaries.
No, it's a little too.
Too many ideas.
It's too much.
So much to
too
do,
on the
so
head,
little.
man. This is how I do it instead.
JK.
I used to only listen to murder pods, and then after a while, I was like, "Oh, I can't do this anymore. I have no faith in humanity now." So I'm just like,
And I kind of want to murder everybody.
"That's right." Yeah, this dark thoughts.
I kind of had a bit. I never tried it though, something like that, where it's like I can't watch murder documentaries anymore because I'm just getting like idiots. This is how I do
Way
it.
too competitive.
yeah. Stupid. I wouldn't have got caught. Wear gloves, you moron.
Or don't use your hands.
Oh, just your elbows.
Just use your
Next level. We got elbow prints everywhere.
We gotta scan these elbow prints.
Kill them with an icicle with your elbows.
Why are there so many choppers in this next scene? Because they're like, all right, it's go time. So I missed this part. So are they're trying to catch them at the docks? That's like their prep area. That's what they're doing.
No. So the bad guys they pretend to plan to blow her up. So they knew he was going to be at that parking garage.
To assassinate him.
It was a trap,
Oh, I see. Okay.
which makes me wonder who this big guy was and what kind of plans he's got.
Does he have this future power as
Man,
well?
that's
Can he
in my
see?
notes too, because that would have been a much better movie.
Yes.
The villain can see 2.5 minutes into the future.
And then at the end they have a fight where they walk up to each other and they just stand there playing all the different scenarios and fighting in the
Bad.
future.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like, we're seeing and you just keep cutting back to them and the cameras are spinning and it's like they're just standing there like perfectly still and like having this mind fight. And then at the end, it's like a draw. Then one person shoots like really quickly and then one guy dies. It would have been so cool.
One guy's heart just stops and that's it. They just get exhausted.
Yeah, or just like a throat punch or something like really quick.
Not even think about it. He'd have to channel some kind of like. Can't telegraph it at all, and it just has to come out of nowhere.
Yeah, like they're fighting the different. It's like the clashing of the things, and then like their nose starts bleeding, and it's like, and they're just standing there, like, and everybody's like, "Oh, what's going on?"
That would have been a way better.
And they're like, "Oh, it's you all." And maybe Julianne Moore could see in the future the whole time was fucking with them.
Ooh. Whoa. We'll start.
Maybe Juliana Moore is the big man.
Maybe.
Holy shit. This goes deep.
I don't know.
This goes deep. Start working on the script after, fellas. All right, so they go in. So he's using his powers to be like, make sure none of the soldiers get killed. Like, no. All right, go.
Yes.
That was great.
Which is pretty cool because he's just walking through and he knows if he's going to get shot or not. So it's like, this is kind of neat. It's believable.
I like that the team was using him as a tactical advantage. It seemed very, that's one of these examples of.
Well, and the fact that those guys were all hunched down on the ground, like looking like they're in a war zone, and he was just striding through, like knowing,
In that
like,
sweet
oh, okay, I'm
yellow
not
coat.
going to. Yeah, it was great. And inside the building, when they're clearing the decks,
On the ship. Yeah, they go into a ship. And I was like, why are we on a ship now?
Yeah.
I was a little confused about that. I'm like, okay, this is the staging area for the bad guys, I guess, because there's a lot of bad guys there.
oh yeah, that was the. I think my
of
wife
bad
had said she's like.
You made
there's
your
a
wife
lot
watch it?
Yeah, she's like, there's a lot of shooting.
And a ton of choppers. I think there was like 5 choppers.
There's a lot of
Like, why?
helicopters, yeah.
Yeah.
Why there's so many of them. So yeah, they have little. So there's booby traps. Yeah. Okay, this makes sense then. Now that you're saying it was a trick, and I missed that part. That's why there's booby traps on the ship because they're like, oh, we're gonna get this guy onto the
Yeah.
ship.
The guy that can see the future 2 minutes ahead. We're going to plant trip mines.
Like right, yes.
Is this the fucking first? Take another shot at it, guys. Come on.
But what if? Okay, here's a hypothetical. What if he looks at the future, but he's not thorough enough? Like, so does he have to be thorough? Like, when he's living this future for 2 minutes, does he have to be looking at every corner and everything? What if he misses something?
Well,
Remember, he does miss something, but
So he could have missed those mines. Maybe.
it's true.
The lasers were really hard to see. They were green. I don't see a lot of green lasers that often.
but you just have to. You can just go willy nilly, and then you'd be like, I would die. Would blow up there. Would blow up there. You could.
Yeah, like, so yeah, I guess he'd be walking ahead of everybody. Oh, but we're getting to one of the best parts of this whole movie here in a second.
Okay.
When they start clearing the decks, and he's like, all right, you guys take this one, I'll take the rest. And then he just starts splitting himself into more
I did
versions
like
of
that.
himself.
He's like, oh, look over here. Oh,
What?
up here. Lost stairs in this.
That was a great.
I like that
part.
part,
The
too.
pan around, and you're just like, if you couldn't get any more Nick Cage in a movie than that,
I
just
want
like
more than one of me.
And they would just be like taking 3 steps and sort of around. The other one's like looking over his shoulder, like, well, you already look there.
Like he's looking for a cat.
Yeah. And then he comes back into himself, and they're like, man, we didn't find anything. He's like, yeah, me neither. And then where do they go from here?
They go. The guys got Jessica in her vest.
Yeah. And this is where he figures out she's near the engine room. Because the team, like, they've already scoured the rest of the place. He's done the rest, and they meet up again at just the perfect time. And he's like, she's near the engine room. So that's where he goes. And yeah, there's a standoff between Nicolas Cage and this dude. This is where he's like, Julianne Moore, how good of a shot are you with this gun?
Yeah.
I'm great. Okay, perfect.
I'm great.
We
'cause
know that.
We
because
set it up.
That's right.
Then
So-
she looked right at the camera and winked.
This guy shoots 16 different versions of Nicolas
yeah.
Cage here. I'm like, what is this? Why are you throwing this at us right now? This is some sort of magic power we don't understand.
It was so. That's the part I really liked about. Was he's just like not here, not here, not here, and then I'm gonna try.
He was
I've
basically
seen the
an
way
agent.
this ends, and it's not good for you.
I've seen how this ends. It doesn't turn out good for you.
I must say, Darren, your Nicolas
it
Cage has got
improving?
less angry and it is improving as the show goes on. The first one was very, Nicolas Cage!
He had a
I'm working on it.
yeah. Maybe we could start a show where I'm calm, intense Cage, and you're loud.
Loud, aggressive Cage. I think a lot of it I just pretend I'm really stoned and just.
And we and the lights go out when we switch.
Okay.
We're wearing the same
That
outfit.
face off?
Add some applause in there, a little extra long so we can do the
No, it's
wardrobe
gonna be a
change.
live. It's gonna be a live show. There'll be lots of people there, and
Oh, God.
and friends and family and government officials. And
That sounds great.
be a big success. Yeah,
Okay, I'm down.
we can't use his real name because we'll get sued because he needs the money. So we got to think of. We'll use his real name, which I forget what it is, but it's not Nicolas Cage.
It's Coppola.
Coppola.
Coppola. He's
that's
part of
right.
the famous. Sophia's his cousin, and Uncle Francis is his dad. It's so easy to get into Hollywood.
That's so annoying. That's so annoying.
So easy.
Uncle Francis. It's one of those things. It's like it's very easy to get in, and I don't.
Can you
I
give me
used
an
to
audition,
begrudge
please?
it, but that's how he did. That's how he got his first job in Rumblefish. Was like Francis Ford Coppola directs it, and then he's like, "Hey, 17-year-old nephew, you can be in my movie." And then he just is like, "Oh, great! I never have to work again in my life. I can just be a movie star."
That's the dream, man.
Yeah, and I used to be really angry about it, but then I'm like, "Oh no, that's the same thing with like plumbers."
Like you just
And-
got over it, like some sort of some bad family blood.
It's like-
You know, I used to really let it bother me that Nicolas Cage was all victims of nepotism here.
Well, I could have become a carpenter.
Darren, what's wrong? Nothing. I'm just thinking about Nicolas Cage again.
He's got into
I know
movies.
he's good and he kind of earns it, but he just had like such a leg up.
Not only him, it's Patrick Schwarzenegger. I mean, the list could go on.
Patrick Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger's son's an actor. Too.
Oh.
Like, yeah.
Isn't he a bodybuilder too? Bodybuilder.
Oh, he's a nice looking lad. That's for sure.
He's got delts.
Oh yeah.
Delts.
That was a
Delts
weird.
and
That was a weird answer to his question.
traps. Yeah. Is he a bodybuilder too?
Is he a bodybuilder?
Good looking man he is. I tell you.
Does he have a dog? Yeah, I'd fuck him.
He's not ugly. And now the nuke.
I let him spit in my mouth. Sorry.
The nuke goes off, and it's like,
least
there's
once.
no time, and then boom. And then he wakes back up in bed with Jessica Biel, and you're like, you fucking assholes.
And that was the whole movie. I was like, are we gonna have to sit through fucking everything again?
I kept checking the times. I'm like, there's got to be 10 minutes of credits. Nope, there's got to be at least 5 minutes of credits. Fuck you guys. They just kept like, nope, it pushed even closer. And I'm like, how are you going to wrap this
I
up?
couldn't believe that they blew up the bomb. Because remember, have you ever seen Sum of All Fears?
No.
Long time ago.
Spoilers. That happens where you don't expect it. You think they're going to stop it. They
Yeah.
subvert that cliche. I was surprised the bomb went off. I'm like, there's no way they could stop this. I'm like, oh my God. And then he woke up and I was like, oh my God.
We're back at the beginning.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, and there's 4.5 minutes left. I'm like, how are they going to wrap this up? Oh, they're not. The camera tilts
Yeah.
up and it's like, boom, boom.
I'll see you. I don't know when. In like a week or maybe a month, but I'll be back. I'm going to go with Julie. Let's do this, Julianne Moore.
It's like, okay, sure, cool. It's been fun.
Which I think that wasn't a horror because you sort of.
I wish
It was a fine ending. I didn't mind the ending, but I was a little bit. I mean, it was good because if you saw that in a theater, there would have been a lot of angry people wanting their money back.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Yeah. Like, what are we screening? We're screening next. They're like, oh God, just
You're like-
let everyone watch it for free.
More
because-
like next.
And then backwards credits to cap it all
yeah,
off. Like,
which was great. That may have been the best part of the movie.
I didn't even know who the grip guy was. Cool.
That would have been if you were that grip guy when you're like, I get first, like I'm up there before the director, before Nicolas Cage.
You know what? Looking
pretty
at
nice.
yeah, looking at it that way, it does give credit to the people who don't usually get as much credit as they deserve.
That's right.
The people that make these movies, make them happy. You can't make it without the camera people and lighting people and makeup and casting and whatnot.
They do the real work.
Did you ever see?
real
Did you ever see
heroes.
The Descent?
Is that the one that's like all in the dark and they
That's
like go
the
into a
cave
cave?
one?
One of many.
that-
one of many?
It's very
cave movies.
It's very good, but that has a wake up. I think at the beginning of at the end of Act 2, she falls and gets knocked unconscious. The entire third act goes by, half an hour. She finally gets out in the car and she gets out of the cave. She's in her car hysterically crying, and then she wakes up
In the cave.
in the cave at the beginning of Act, and then she has to get out again.
Did they subject you to the whole thing?
You go
again?
through a totally different
Oh,
ending until she gets out again. It's like a.
So it is.
It's
so,
brutal. So I'm glad I was like, I can't do this again. So I'm glad they just ended it with him, Incredible Hulking it into the sunset.
because it is that, which was fine, and it's but
Yeah.
that's sort of a cheater, and like it was all a dream, like that kind
I
of
used
thing.
to read Word Up magazine.
That's right. It's one of those things. Like I know people are like, no, that's bullshit. Like the last season of Roseanne, right? They didn't actually win the lottery.
It's just a kind of a big
Made them
fuck
less
you.
relatable.
Yes, that's right.
A lot of our listeners have watched all of Roseanne start to finish. Well, it's like a big like, nah, we couldn't figure it out how to end it. So up yours, viewers. That's what it felt like. To me personally, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't. I was upset when when he woke up back in the motel with her. I was like, and I've seen the movie maybe in 2008, so I had seen it before. I completely forgot.
I had thankfully never seen this before, so I was very happy to watch it for the first time.
It should have been like did you ever see The Butterfly Effect?
Yep.
Remember when it should have been he should have woke up, or like there should have been a choice that he flashed back to, like, oh, I'm okay with that.
Right.
And then he could have been like, instead of going up to talk to her and being the love of the life, it's like, I could do this, but it'll cost us the world. So I'll just walk away.
Wait, like, what do you mean?
So
Not-
let's say there's a point where like he meets Jessica, or maybe he just gets up and leaves. I don't know. It's
I
some
understand what
like
you're
a
saying.
non-passive like.
There's like he didn't get up and go to her table and get punched in the face. Like he just paid his bill
right.
and left instead.
Yeah.
'Cause he's like, if I go up to that table, the world's gonna blow up. But if I just go that way, I can save.
But
it.
what mistake did he make? Because he's like, because that's what he says before the war. He's
forgot-
like, I forgot to check.
I
stuff.
forgot
Like,
to
what-
put it in the script. That's a mistake I made.
Well, he followed his heart. That's
At
what
what-
he fell in love.
Well, also too, I'm disappointed in myself. At what point I thought I would ask you guys, because I know there's people. I am the most. At what point did you realize that was going to happen, or did you not? You were like floored when he woke up back at the
I was
motel.
floored.
I was floored.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good, because I know there's people who are like, I knew it was going to happen. It was going to blow up, and then he was going to go back to the. I knew it from that first flash forward.
Did your wife know?
No.
Oh, okay.
No one I know. No, but people do that when they're like, Bruce Willis is a ghost, and I'm like, I didn't know until the very end.
Oh, I got to watch my friend's dad watch that movie for the first time, and his reaction I'll never forget. He just is like, when he finds out he's a ghost, he's like, holy shit! Oh, he's looking at his wife. Wow! I'm like, oh man, relax.
Those are
It just
great.
blew him away. I was
Yeah.
like, this is awesome. So
So
cool.
good.
That's funny.
But this, yeah, I didn't expect it because towards the end, I'm like, how are they going to wrap this up? There's like 6 minutes left.
Oh, yeah.
This has to end now.
And
then
they
it's like,
don't.
oh,
They're
he
just
wakes
like,
up.
maybe he does it, maybe he doesn't. But it doesn't matter because he can just do it over and over and over again until he gets it right.
I hate movies like this that do that to the viewer because it's like you invest 96 minutes of your time. You want a conclusion. You want to be like, okay, this is how it ended. Perfect. Now I can give you my opinion on it.
It would have been great too if there was a twist where like I've been stuck in this loop for 80 years and I can't seem to stop it. I'm just trying to stop it. And he's just
He's
stuck.
just old and gray. And
But
no,
it's
he's
total
actually-
Groundhog Day where he's
Yeah.
like, he just keeps, I've been stuck in this moment. And I've been in bed with you for 20 years, and I can't figure out how to stop this nuclear bomb from going off.
And he's also, because he's left Jessica Biel back at the hotel, he's not going to be able to see more than 2 minutes in the future anyways. He can't see any more.
So the world will still blow up.
Yeah.
Well, the nuke will still go off.
He needs to put her in danger to save the world.
Baby, this isn't working. I got to come back, and you got to come with me.
That's right.
I also wanted a scene where it was like the bomb. I thought that was coming, where it's like, which wire are you thinking of cutting? Not the blue. Get the green. The blue.
That's who yes, totally. That's who you need to take with you all times.
There's multiple scenes of nukes
And they're sweating,
going
and they're
off.
like, which one? The blue.
You guys have
No.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, you got a real rating on this one?
Oh, I didn't think.
Oh.
I didn't think of that.
Well, we can circle back to it.
I've got 7 lopsided Nicolas Cage grins out of 10 androids dreaming of electric sheep.
Wow, a 7.
That's a good one.
Lofty.
Did he own a dinosaur skull?
Oh yeah, he owned a lots of property. He's owned castles. He owns the most haunted mansion in maybe the States.
Wait, actually? Nicolas Cage does?
Yeah, or he did at one point. It was like
That's worse than
yeah.
being related to Coppola.
Oh, he had to sell it to pay off his gambling debts.
Is there ghosts in it? I'll take it.
yeah.
Okay, I give this one Nicolas Cage purchased dinosaur skull out of 1 Nicolas Cage.
So 100%.
Or
Yeah.
or a 1.
So I give it 3 freeway foot chases out of 10 French Gaming Commission henchmen.
Oh,
It wasn't excuse me, it wasn't horrible. Like it had me laughing a lot because it was taking itself really seriously, and it was just the stupidest loose story ever.
it could have been. It was like me in grade school. It had lots of potential, and then just
Started smoking weed when I was
That's right.
16. Disappointing my English teachers.
Grade school. That's so
You're
early.
showing your age again there. Back in grade school.
Like grade 3
One-
was over.
the writing was on the wall. I didn't put it there because I couldn't write. but
Yeah.
yeah.
I tried to sound it out, but then they sent me home.
Yeah. Fail.
All right, you guys want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Dude, thank you guys very much for coming down here. Nash, Darren, that was a pleasure.
Awesome.
It was a lot of fun.
Thank you,
Thank
Jeffrey.
you, Jeff.
Get you
That
guys
was
here again
awesome.
at some point. We'll do, what was the one you wanted to do? Paycheck.
Paycheck.
With Ben Affleck. I'm down for that.
It's pretty. I remember because I bought it. The movie store in Terrace had like a $1 bin, and so I bought 10 movies or something, and that was one of them. So I had these 10 movies. I lived far out in the boonies, no internet, so I just had to watch the same.
And it
10
was John
movies.
Woo.
It's John Woo, yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
I think it's the one he did after MI2, which Mission Impossible 2 for.
I was thinking MIB 2 for a second. I was like, wait, you forgot the B. Anyway, all right. Okay. Thank you guys
Awesome.
very much for coming down here.
Thanks, man.
All right. We'll get you back here for Paycheck here pretty soon. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Real garbage.